What's going on now? I'm Cliff Hill. You are tuned into BallerAlert. We are here with the legend, man, Mr. Affion Crockett. We're here at the Improv. You about to hit that stage in a minute. How you feeling?
I feel great, man. Yeah, I feel great. I can't complain.
Listen, you about to reach about 30 years you've been in the game, man.
Yeah.
How does somebody like yourself stay relevant and successful for 30 years?
How long they choose to love you will never be your decision. That's a Drake bar. Nah, it's the people. I guess whatever it is that that I do resonates with the people, because I try to come from the most authentic place when I do a character or when I do my stand-up or whatever, right? So I think it just resonates with people and they connect with it, and I'm just blessed to still be here, to still be talked about. I don't know if you saw my trailer just went viral like crazy. So like, yeah, the new movie, A Hip Hop Story. I love to create new moments that are, like I said, they come from an organic place, so people relate to it, they connect with it, and I'm still here.
Listen, we're going to definitely get into the new film, but before that, I kind of went down a rabbit hole just watching some of your work. I mean, way back to Def Comedy Jam days. Yeah. What led you to comedy? And if not comedy, what else would you have been doing today, if not comedy?
I don't know, man. I mean, you know, my dad was an Army guy, and he always wanted me to follow in his footsteps. I don't like people telling me what to do. So I did ROTC when I was in school, and they would start yelling in your face and telling you to do push-ups and all that. I was like, man, I'm going to smack the shit out of somebody in here. So, you know, much love to my father, man, but I couldn't do the military route. I think I always felt like I'd be like a cool school teacher. Okay. You know what I mean? I always had a connection between like myself and being able to give somebody wisdom. That's always been a thing. So even in my stand-up, there's always wisdom even between the jokes. Okay. You know what I mean? So that would be my guess, is school teacher.
And how did you fall into comedy?
Def Comedy Jam. I mean, Def Comedy Jam was the hottest show back in the day, and it married hip-hop and comedy so flawlessly that I was like, man, I was already doing everything else hip-hop. I'm already a b-boy, I'm an MC, I was DJing at the time, and when I saw Def Comedy Jam, it just all came together, and comedy was the one thing I had never tried. And I saw all these dope comedians like Cool Bubba Ice and Flex Alexander and you know, Chris Tucker, Bernie Mac, and I would watch them like, man, I might be able to do that. I've always been performing all my life, so yeah, it was just one of those things that I was like, man, I should try that, because and this show was hot. Yeah, I love Martin Lawrence too, like, so yeah, that's what drew me to comedy.
I mean, Def Comedy Jam was a time. So you have a film coming out, A Hip Hop Story, where you are playing multiple hip hop legends. Multiple hip legends are being imitated in the film, right? You guys kind of talk about how hip hop is in a crisis. Do you feel that hip hop is in a crisis right now? Are you pleased with where hip hop is?
I'm not pleased where hip hop is, and that's not even on a talent level. I think the culture surrounding hip hop is more of a hater culture. It's more of a, you know, we glorify drugs, and we don't emphasize talent anymore. You can just be popular, but be talking about some negative shit and be a celebrity, be a rap star, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's something wrong with that. There's definitely something wrong with that. And as a responsible community, if we don't start speaking up about it, sure, it's gonna ruffle some feathers, but if we don't look back and be like, look, and this isn't me saying it's the young people's fault. It's me taking the ownership and saying we all have to pitch in and figure out what it is. Like, even the labels that's giving people deals for saying the wrong shit. Yeah. Or us as fans that are investing our money in that type of stuff, supporting and making this type of message grow, and not supporting the message of unity and actually loving and healing ourselves and loving each other. I think we're so much stronger when we're like together than we are separate and just hating on each other, commenting on people's pages, right, commenting on people's videos, and just saying nasty shit. People want clout now, and I think that's very fucked up.
So would you say this film is kind of like a wake-up call, or just a way for you to kind of get your voice out there to kind of bring hip-hop back?
100%. Again, hip-hop it still has some talent in it, for sure. Like, there's some beasts out there. Mm-hmm. Younger ones, older ones, like, it's still some really talented people. But like I said, the culture surrounding us right now is so negative and just so based on bullshit that it's not my favorite place to be.
Right. Now, you spoke about how you got into comedy. You said you was kind of doing hip-hop first. How did you get into hip-hop?
Nigga, from watching.
Better question, when was the first time you fell in love with hip-hop?
Brown Sugar. I heard Sucker MCs by Run DMC, and then Planet Rock by Soul Sonic Force. Then I started, me and my brother would see B-Boys, like videos of when breaking first was getting introduced to the masses, and we just started doing it. Everything that we saw hip hop presenting, we tried to do it. When we heard Run DMC rap, we just tried to rap. You know, we didn't even write raps at the time. We thought everyone freestyled. So we just seeing the culture, it was brand new. I grew up with hip hop. Me and hip hop are the same age. So it was so new that we was like, man, whatever this is, we got to be a part of it. And that's how it started for me.
I was telling you, I kind of went down a rabbit hole, man. And on one of your clips, you was actually like dancing for real. And I was like, I didn't know this guy could dance like that for real.
Yeah, I still get down.
What's up, man? Now listen, just from the previews of the film, right? I can tell that you're going to be talking about some real life things that happened in these guys' life. Some of the rappers you kind of touch on. I know some of the guys may be your friends. Did you call them first and be like, yo, I'm about to do this scene. I might joke on you a little bit. How does that work for you?
No, I just do it, man. I present the art, and I've been doing it for so long that I have relationships with most of these guys, so they already know I'm not coming from an evil place. Okay. I don't tear anyone down. Again, if you take a certain joke personal, that's more based on your sensitivity, your personal connection to it. Right. But again, for me, it's never about trying to tear you down. It's just about, I'm gonna drop a few jokes in here to get to the message, to make the message, you know, palatable and receivable.
Okay. I asked that because, you know, they say we live in a sensitive time now, especially with the younger generation. Do you think, you know, how sensitive everyone is? Does that kind of play an effect on your comedy?
No, not mine. Okay. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, because look where you came from, the Def Comedy Jam days. You guys just was doing it, man.
Yeah, and Wildin' Out. I'm a Wildin' Out. I helped build Wildin' Out with Nick. You know, that was one of my joints. And to see where it's gone now with the DC Young Flies and, you know, the whole 85 South crew, and just the energy of Wildin' Out. We're bold. That's what we do. I'm a part of that team. I'm a part of that lineage. So, nah, sensitivity doesn't have any room here. And it's not to say that we want to shit on people. Again, I don't shit on people, but I also can't monitor your sensitivity if you're going to be upset about every little thing I say. Like, fuck, I don't have time for that.
Gotcha. Now listen, you came up under people like Bernie Mac, Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, Martin Lawrence is still doing this time. Do you have any stories from like Def Comedy Jam days that you can like share that's just hilarious, something that we never heard of?
I mean, I don't know. You know, I think the funniest story, it wasn't funny for me, but it was funny now looking back at it. I was opening up a show for Steve Harvey way back when I first started, and I was getting booed the whole time because his crowd came to see him. They didn't give a fuck who this young nigga with dreads was on stage. They didn't give a fuck about my little corny ass impressions. They didn't give a fuck. They were just sitting there like this. And as you know, any comedy show where there's a headliner, the headliner comes out, does their job, and they get the fuck out of there. Mm-hmm. I was so bad that he had to come back out on stage while I was back on there hosting. I'm hosting. I'm trying to, you know, the club said, "Hey man, we need you to do 20 more minutes because we haven't collected all the money yet, all the bills." Yeah. I'm out there struggling, sweating, no laughs, and then I hear a voice in the back of the curtain say, "Hey Affion, man, go on, sit on back in the back, man. I got this." Steve comes back out and sits on a stool. He said, "Yeah, they say he out here dying and struggling, so I gotta talk to y'all to make sure y'all get that money." You know what I mean? And he didn't have to do that.
No, saved your life.
He didn't have to do that. So, you know, that was one of them situations. And then when he came off the stage, he sat me down for an hour and just gave me gems. He could have shitted on me. He could have did all the, you know, man, you horrible. He ain't even do none of that. He said, nigga, you have all the juice. You have all the talent. You can go to Hollywood and make millions at this. He said that. He gave me like a lot of gems and just lifted me up. And every word that he said has come true.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Just have those guys around, man.
Yeah,
listen, what a time. Now I heard you speak about Martin Lawrence. I know you guys are really, really tight. Yeah. But who's your comedian Mount Rushmore? Who you got up there?
Eddie Murphy, Martin, Chris Rock, and the Wayans family is a whole one for me. Yeah. You know, I always honorably mention Richard Pryor because he, you know, I don't think he's even rankable who he is. And barring any of the personal stuff, Bill Cosby as a comedian, brilliant mind. Brilliant mind. But yeah, Eddie, Martin, Chris Rock, and the Wayans family, they're not talked about enough, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And their family of mine, like they're my good friends. Damien and Craig is in a Hip Hop Story movie. And they've been in my corner since I moved to LA and since I started working with them, and they've always treated me like family. And I learned so much of what I do comes from the Wayans family.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've been around for so long, to the whole family, man. It's hilarious. Now, listen, are there any movies and TV shows where you felt like you would have killed that role? I mean, we have so many different comedy movies out, I mean, for years now. Was there any role you felt like I would have killed that role had I auditioned or had I got it?
Nah. Anything that I don't get is not for me.
Okay.
So I can appreciate, when I see people bubbling in a role, because I'm still a fan too.
Okay.
So I'm gonna watch things as a fan and just let it be what it is.
Right. Now, if you could choose one film, right, one comedy film and one sitcom, these are the only two you could watch for the rest of your life, which two would you choose?
It'll probably be Martin and the Fresh Prince.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, those are legends right there.
Yeah.
All right, so we talking about comedy. We gotta talk about Cat Williams, man. So the word on the street is that Cat low key made comedy, especially stand up comedy, maybe some comedians, more relevant again today. Do you agree with that?
I don't talk about this subject only because I'm too close to everyone involved. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm best friends with Cat or anything like that, but that's my guy. I know everyone. I know him, Steve. I spread love. Right. That conversation, that interview, is like two NBA players getting into a fight during the game, and after that fight, after that game, the reporters are always wanting that soundbite. Are you guys having a personal beef? Is this going to continue? Right. And the players always say, "It's just trash talk. It's just part of the game. I respect that player. He's a great player, great defensive player. He's very competitive, and we were just competing." It should never be a part of public conversation. Right? I know everybody. I know the real stories of everything, and I have positive shit to say about everyone involved, Cat included. Respect. And that type of message only gets 20 views. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather just stay silent about it. And when I see all of them, it's all love. I'm a spread love kind of guy.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Now listen, you don't take the title as king of impersonations, but everybody say you are. Could you possibly give us an impersonation of Cat Williams?
Nah, man. Nah, that's my man. But I will say this about I don't take any titles. Okay. I don't think I'm the king of impersonations. That's probably a Jay Farrell or a Godfrey title. Okay. Those guys are beasts. But what I'm very masterful at is being able to portray people, resemble them, and write a storyline around them. I just create differently. You know what I mean? So I don't take the title of king of anything. I just create differently.
Got you, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we can't wait to see the film. I know you're going to go out there and rock it tonight. Thanks for your time today, man.
For sure, man. Appreciate y'all.